Hey Seth, I got the rest of this video going here. I got everything set up to show you what you need to do as soon as your product has finished fermenting and everything else you have to do after it. That's what I'm about to get into right now. Now you'll notice that whenever you pour out what you had in your 2 liter bottle fermenting, you're going to have a layer of sediment, a thick, nasty layer of sediment. That's what gives it a bitter, bitter taste. A bitter taste. Yeast does not taste good. That's why whenever you're dealing with this, you need to try and get rid of as much of it as possible. You need to kill it so it'll sink down to the bottom or into sediment. And then I'm about to show you how you get rid of sediment. Alright, let me show you. That crap right there, that's all sediment. And that will affect the taste of your wine extremely. So what you do this a couple times a day. Well, not a couple times a day. Do it about once a day. Get you some hot water. And just pretty much get that shit out of there. Because that's what ruins the taste in it. That's what gives it bitterness. If you do this once a day for about 5 days while one's in the fridge, you're going to have some good stuff. You'll hold on a second. Somebody is calling me. Sorry, Gangsta G. That was my brother. So, we've already got all of the crud rinsed down to the bottom of that. All you got to do is just use hot water. Then I poured all of our wine into this right here, into this mixing bowl. First thing we're going to do is we are going to add our crushed up Camden tablets. I crushed up half of a Camden tablet into a powder. And this goes in there. Every bit of it. And then the next thing we're going to have, we add this to stabilize the wine. Alright? That way we can bottle it. And it also makes it taste better, makes it more mellow. You add 1/4 of a teaspoon of potassium sorbate to it. Once you get all that added to it, it's done as far as treating it chemically goes. Now keep in mind what I'm doing right now by adding these chemicals, you only do that if you are going to bottle it. If you're going to have it stored in a refrigerator, you don't have to worry about that. You can treat it with potassium sorbate to mellow out the flavor, but you don't have to use Camden tablets. But this right here, this is if you're going to bottle it. Alright, then you take your handy dandy mixing tool and we degas it. Now you're going to have to do this here on as far as degassing it goes, if you're putting it in the refrigerator for the recommended time of clarifying, which to me clarifying for bottling is 10 days. If that's the case, then you need to degas this every other day because the yeast ain't dead yet. And just because you put it in the refrigerator doesn't mean that the yeast dies. It just slows down, and it's still creating bubbles in here. And just every other day, you need to get in there and make sure that you get all of the bubbles out. Now, by God, I think that's ready to go back into the bottle and then into the fridge. And then I break out my secret weapon and show you what it is. If I can find out what my wife did with my goddamn funnel. Here it is. Anyways, here's my funnel. Here's my bottle. I have to wait for that foam to go down so we can put the rest of it in there. But while that is working its magic, I'm going to show you how to use the wonder tool behind all of this. That's Biofine Clear. Oh, shit, I guess I don't have to. Don't this thing know I can kick it there? Come on, damn it. Motherfucker. Keep. What? Daddy's hot. I'm just waiting for this to go down. That is some strong stuff. Wrong. If I had to ballpark it, I'd put the alcohol percentage for this little mix of Concord here up at about 16%, which is why you need to get a hydrometer because if you're going to be making beers, like you said you're going to this Thursday, then you are definitely going to need one because that is how you check the gravity in it. You know, you check the gravity in the beer, I guess, to find out when it's done. I don't know. I'm going to have to talk to my grandpa and find out why in the hell you have to check whether beer has a gravity or whatever. Although apparently the ship will float off into space or something. I don't know. But what you do, you get you a little dropper, get you a little Biofine. It don't take much. Now for this 2-liter bottle, I'm literally going to put 6 drops. And there we go. And this one right here is ready to be put up in the refrigerator for 10 days because this, I plan on bottling all of mine, so all of mine go in the fridge for 10 days and they all get treated. But this is pretty much just a rundown and the basics on what the steps are from the time you are done fermenting it and you take it out of the closet until you get ready to put it in the refrigerator. I hope that this covered a whole lot more because I'm actually sober in this video here. I wasn't in some of the last ones, and for that I don't apologize. But if you have any more questions or anything like that, shoot me a message on Facebook or whatever. Let your bro know. Uh, but yeah, happy brewing to you, and I hope that this here was very informative. But you take care and remember that resistance is futile.